Progress Data Cloud, or PDC, offers a secure, cloud-based hosting environment. PDC provides infrastructure and orchestration for Progress Data Platform products. PDC allows organizations to run data services in a scalable, managed environment with integrated features such as semantic modeling, data integration, and SharePoint Online connectivity. This video explains how to install Semaphore for SharePoint Online. Semaphore for SharePoint Online is available at an additional cost and works with Semaphore services. Before installing Semaphore for SharePoint Online, you must have administrative access to Office 365, a Progress Data Cloud tenancy configured for SharePoint Online, and have registered in Progress Data Cloud. To perform any deployment operations, your Progress Data Cloud tenancy user account must be assigned to the SharePoint Online Deployment Manager role. Once you have verified the prerequisites, log in to your Progress Data Cloud tenancy. Once you're logged in, click the Configure menu and select SharePoint Online. If you have not configured your SharePoint Online subscription yet, I'll show you how to do that in the next step. If you have already configured a subscription, skip ahead to deploy your site. If you have not added a SharePoint Online subscription yet, click Add your first subscription. On the Deploy sidebar, click Add a new subscription. The system will prompt you to grant permissions and authenticate. Once you have added your subscription, you need to deploy the Progress Data Cloud SharePoint Online functionality to the specific site collections where you wish to use it. Now I'll show you how to deploy a site for a subscription. There are a number of steps to this process. If you have difficulty, the support team is here to help. See the video description for a link to the support site. Next, click the Deploy Your First Site button in the middle of the screen, or click the button in the top right to deploy to another site collection in your SharePoint Online subscription. The Deploy sidebar is shown. The deployment process consists of first executing a series of API calls to retrieve SharePoint Online configuration details, then performing configuration updates to support the Semaphore for SharePoint Online functionality. In this demonstration, I will use Microsoft Graph Explorer for the API calls and follow the instructions shown in the interface. To grant Progress Data Cloud access, the Grant Site Access page checks that PDC can be deployed to a given site collection. You may have to apply specific permissions in order to do so. In this case, details will be shown on the screen. If you have not done so already, select your SharePoint Online subscription. Next, copy the GET request. I'll use a text editor to manage the required updates more easily, as they will need to be adjusted for your specific installation before they can be executed. Paste the request in the text editor. Now, copy the post request URL. Paste it in the text editor. Now, get the specific implementation details for the request by copying the post body, and paste it into the text editor. Finally, copy the path to your SharePoint site and paste it into the text editor. In this example, I'll use Microsoft Graph Explorer to send the requests. However, you can use any tool capable of making API calls, such as Postman or even the curl command line tool. To use Microsoft Graph Explorer, scroll up in the instructions and click on the link. Once Graph Explorer opens, verify that you are signed in by looking in the top right corner for your user icon or the initials of your username. If you are not signed in, click in the top right corner to authenticate. After verifying that I am authenticated, I will retrieve the details about the site collection needed in the second API call. Paste the initial GET request into the field at the top of Graph Explorer. Now, replace the sample text, path to your site, and the angle brackets with the actual path to your SharePoint site. Click Run Query. If the request was successful, you will see a green check mark. Because the ID is used in the second API call, copy the ID from the response. To grant PDC permission to access your site, paste the post request into the address bar and select Post from the API Request Type drop-down on the left. Replace the site ID with the ID of your site collection retrieved from the previous API call. Click Run Query. A green check mark indicates your request was successful. Now, install the Progress Data Cloud app into the app catalog. This enables the Semaphore for SharePoint Online functionality in the SharePoint interface. If you have permission, you can upload the app into the subscription app catalog from the SharePoint admin UI. During this process, the system will prompt you to trust the Progress Data Cloud app. After reviewing the message, click the Deploy button. Once the app is installed into the app catalog, install the app into a site collection. Log into the appropriate SharePoint Online site collection as an administrator and select Site Contents from the sidebar. Click New and select App. Click the Add button under the Progress Data Cloud app shown in the list of apps you can add to add it to your site collection. This process may take several minutes to complete. Refresh the page to confirm the application has been successfully installed. Semaphore for SharePoint Online is now fully installed and ready to use in your site collection. To verify the configuration, return to the SharePoint Online page in Progress Data Cloud and confirm the site collection is listed. This video has covered how to install Semaphore for SharePoint Online using Progress Data Cloud. For additional resources, see the links in the video description.